Buonasera, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you my wish list for 2023. This is part of my 2023 recap series where I go through everything that I learned and tested during the year and tell you my thoughts and my final recommendations. So if you want to see the best discoveries I've made this year, best products, my most used products, best releases when it comes to fragrances in 2023, you will find in the description down below a playlist of the whole series, so go check it. But for today's video, we are going to talk about my wish list for 2024 and what I did with my wish list in 2023. If you are new to my channel, I want to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Noura, and on this channel, I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. I will highly appreciate it if by the end of this video you found it helpful or you enjoyed it to give me a thumb up. That will help me a lot. And without further ado, let's start. So as usual, I am going to start by my fragrances wish list. Let's start in 2022. What was my wish list and what did I get? So first fragrance on my wish list was Memo Siwa. Here it is, a very, very unique Narcissus fragrance, and it is inspired by the oasis of Siwa. If you didn't catch my video on desert fragrances or fragrances that remind me of the desert, I will leave it linked down below. I also show you the oasis where this fragrance is inspired by. Love this fragrance, although the longevity is not the best and it's not as projecting, but I love how balmy this fragrance is. It's kind of a luxurious, balmy, dry oil in a way. This is how I can explain how this fragrance smells. Absolutely beautiful and one of the underrated gems from Memo, and it was for me love at first sniff. So I'm so happy that it's finally here in my collection. From Memo, I was a little bit on the fence about Inlay. Inlay is another perfume or floral perfume from Memo that I absolutely love. It's quite unique, but is not a fragrance that I always gravitate towards, and I have a travel size and it seems to be more than enough. It was on a maybe, so I didn't get it and I'm not planning on adding it to my wish list for 2024. I spoke about Guerlain Spiritus Double Vanille and how much I adore this fragrance. Was one of my discoveries of the year, and that I really like it in the old bottles that are more elegant and beautiful, to me at least, than the new bottles. And guess what? I've got it and also in the old bottles. So happy. Love the scent, guys. It's not a long time that I have this in my collection. As you can see, the dent is quite big, given also my fragrance collection. It's a vanilla fragrance, but it's not sweet. I was always put off by the name because Double Vanille, I was thinking about a sticky, sweet, gourmand fragrance, and it's not. I discovered that Guerlain makes the best vanilla. It's soft and airy and sweet, but still has this kind of leathery feelings that high quality vanilla has. So I absolutely love it, and I'm so happy that I have it in my collection. Then I spoke about Christian Dior and how two fragrances from this line are in my wish lists, Lucky and La Colle Noire. Now La Colle Noire is still on my list. I really want to get this fragrance, while Lucky is replaced somehow by my favorite Italian niche brand, Acqua di Parma, Lily of the Valley. I definitely like that one when it comes to a Lily of the Valley fragrance to Lucky. So yeah, Lucky is dethroned, so I didn't get it, and I also don't plan on getting a full bottle of it. By the way, I have a buying guide on this line from Acqua di Parma, where Lily of the Valley is part of, which is Signatures of the Sun. You will find it linked in the description down below as well as up here. Then I had on my wish list Tom Ford Lost Cherry in big format. I got last year the 30 ml and I absolutely love it. I think I am more than half through this fragrance. This is how much I love it. And now I am like keeping myself from finishing the bottle because I still didn't get a backup bottle, mainly because of the prices. They went even up. I mean, they were already expensive. So now it's more expensive and yeah, I don't know. I love the scent, but paying full price for this fragrance, I am not willing to because it's not worth it in my opinion, especially for the performance. So still, I am looking for a great deal on Lost Cherry. Then I had Dior Absolutely Blooming, which is discontinued, on my wish list, and I have got myself a bottle of it. I don't know why they discontinued this fragrance. And now if we talk about Dior as a designer, so we are not talking about the private collection. Most of the fragrances are now very light and extremely bad in performance. This, I think, was one of the best, and again, from the regular line from Dior, when it comes to performance. It's not my favorite scent profile from them. My favorite one, as you all know, is Pure Poison and Blooming Bouquet. But this one, yeah, had something going on. It's special. So yeah, I don't know why they discontinued it, but yeah, they did, and I had it on my wish list, and now I have it. Then I have talked again about a discontinued fragrance. I don't know if it was discontinued or it was right from the start a limited edition fragrance. I don't know, but I've smelled it and I fell in love with it. I thought that it is a permanent fragrance, and then I discovered it's not, and I couldn't get it anywhere. And finally, I got my hands on it last time when I went to Egypt. This is Pure Musk Absolute. So Pure Musk is not discontinued. It's available on the market, and it was one of my favorite fragrances from Narciso until, of course, Narciso Noir and then Musk Noir Rose. Now this is Pure Musk with a lot of florals. It is creamy, clean, musky, just gorgeous scent. Gorgeous scent. I don't know why it was limited or they discontinued it, because this is a better version of Pure Musk. A great fragrance. Unfortunately, as I said, discontinued, but if you can get your hands on it and you love Pure Musk, I would recommend you get also this one. I had from Le Vestiaire collection from Yves Saint Laurent Rouge Velours, and I fell in love with this fragrance. It is a cheap rose fragrance, and this is a classic example why you always should test a fragrance enough. So I fell in love with it. It was almost love at first sniff for me. And it's not like I used it only, I tested it and that's it. I did test it more than once and I was just loving the scent. So this year I finally decided. I had a discount for Yves Saint Laurent and I thought, why not get myself Rouge Velours? It's the perfect opportunity. Thank God I tested it, and I also tested Baby Cat, by the way, and suddenly I was not so impressed. Not that the fragrance is not great. It's a great cheap rose fragrance, but I just didn't find myself so enchanted with it. So I just tested some fragrances that I don't have as a sample from this collection, and I totally fell in love with Supreme Bouquet. Love this creamy tuberose fragrance, hybrid between Rouge Malachite and Vert Malachite from Armani. So it has this ylang note mixed with tuberose, which makes it quite creamy, very beautiful, and extremely long-lasting and protecting fragrance. So yeah, so I didn't get Rouge Velours, but I did get something from the same collection instead. Then I had on my wish list Chanel Coco Parfum. So there is a parfum version from Coco that I didn't test yet, and still this one I don't have. It is still in my wish list, but it's not a priority since I already have Coco Eau de Parfum, which is one of my favorite, absolute favorite fragrances of all time. So yes, I want the Parfum version, but it's not like in the top of my list. So this one's still in my wish list. I had also on my wish list Goldfield and Banks Bohemian Lime for the 3rd year, and I don't know why, although I love the scent, I never bite the bullet and get it. Very strange. So maybe I should test this fragrance again and see. Maybe I changed my mind. Maybe I have something similar. I don't know why I am not getting this fragrance, and I am a citrusy, fresh lover. I had also on my wish list Atelier des Ors Rose Umayyad Extrait, and I didn't get it. I am not planning on getting it because it is a better version, let's say, of Rose Umayyad, but I already have that one in my collection, and I don't need the exact same fragrance in an Extrait version. So yeah, I would have loved to get the Extrait instead of the original one, but getting an extra bottle of the Extrait of a fragrance that I don't use that much, not because I don't love it, but because it is an oud fragrance, so it's not an everyday scent. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I didn't get it, and I'm not planning on getting it very soon. So I would say last year I got more from the fragrances on my wish list, but a lot of these are fragrances or that I changed my mind about, like Lucky, like Inlay, or fragrances that are not practical, like Rose Umayyad Extrait. So I am quite happy with what I have achieved this year, especially with my no buy, low buy situation. Now let's get to the most important part, my wish list for fragrances in 2024. On my number 1, ACQUA Rise. Oh my God, is this a gorgeous scent? And I still am shocked how much I love the scent, although the notes, everything about it would have said run away, because it's a very heavy tropical fragrance, at least judging from the notes. But the way it is made and blended, it's, I don't know, so beautiful, not cloying, not too sweet, just the perfect dosage of everything from coconut to vanilla to tropical notes to tropical flowers. It's just so beautiful, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this fragrance. Next we have from Milano Fragranze Panettone, and a fragrance inspired by the famous dessert panettone here in Italy, the same dessert that inspired Devotion from Dolce & Gabbana. And I don't like that fragrance. Not a bad one. Again, I would recommend it, especially for a designer fragrance. This was a great release actually from Dolce & Gabbana, but I definitely prefer Panettone. It has more of an authentic smell of Panettone to Devotion, and it's just, I don't know, it's softer, it's not as sweet and gourmand. It's still a gourmand fragrance, but not as sweet as Devotion, and I love it. And Milano Fragranze is one of the brands that I am obsessed with, let's say. Next we have Kilian Angel Share. Now I have tested this fragrance quite a while ago, and I liked it, but I don't know why I was not like overly impressed by it, let's say. Maybe because I have Wajan, which is from this genre of scent profile, my favorite one, and it will forever be my favorite one. I did wear this fragrance, I don't know why, for some occasion I think, and I was like, wow, I really like this fragrance. Why is it not in my collection? So yeah, I am waiting for a good deal to get my hands on Angel Share. Not going to pay full price for sure, because it's outrageous. Again, from Kilian, we have Back to Black, a fragrance that I've talked about in my last Testing Hyped Up Niche Fragrances video, and I fell in love with this one. It is, however, a scent profile that is quite heavy and requires a special occasion to wear. So I am planning on getting myself only a travel size of it. A big bottle will be just unnecessary for me. So yeah, back to black, a beautiful, a sweet tobacco that is extremely sexy, alluring, and addictive. It's just, I don't know, the best. Yeah, it is difficult for me to choose between this one and Tobacco Vanille as my favorite, you know, sweet tobacco. They are just too different to choose, but I am obsessed with this one, just obsessed. So definitely needing this one in my collection, but as a travel size. Next we have XERJOFF Allende, and it is a maybe, not because I'm not sure about the fragrance, but because I didn't test it enough. As I said before, I've tested it in one of my testing hyped up niche fragrances, and I also tested it when I did my XERJOFF video, which I will leave linked up here and in the description. It is a beautiful vanilla fragrance, a vanilla that I've never smelled before. So unique, sweet but airy and cloud-like. It's fluffy. It's just an amazing vanilla fragrance, but I didn't test the fragrance enough to have my final thoughts. But yeah, from wearing it till now, I am obsessed and I need a full bottle of it. Again, not paying full price ever. XERJOFF has outrageous price tag. I'm not going to pay that amount of money. Forget it. Next fragrance is also one that I've tested in testing hyped up niche fragrances. And yeah, the one that was Allende and Sugar Leather. I think both of them I didn't upload yet, or they were in the same episode. I don't know. I film in advance, so I have a lot of videos that I didn't upload yet. Sugar Leather from Anouilh Nomade is again in the same realm and the same scent profile as Wajan, Angel Share, these fragrances, but it has a more dense feeling. It feels more oily. It has more concentration, and it has also a leather accord, which the other don't have, and it works beautifully. So I would actually describe it not as a fragrance that is similar to these fragrances that I've mentioned, but more as a sweet leather one. And it has also labdanum, a predominant labdanum note, which makes sometimes for me fragrances, I like them, I enjoy them, but I don't wear them because it's a very strong note. But I don't know, something about the balance in this fragrance just works. So the cinnamon spices, the leather, the labdanum, the sweetness, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's quite hyped, and for a reason, and it is nuclear. This fragrance is stunning when it comes to performance, and definitely a beautiful scent that is unisex, by the way. Another maybe fragrance is XERJOFF Lira. Now, I talked about Lira many times and I love it, and I love the opening, not so much the dry down, but it's one of the fragrances that I keep on thinking about. So I'm kind of obsessed, and I actually wear my sample quite a lot. So maybe I should get a bottle. I don't know. It's still in a maybe. I think it will depend if I get a deal or not on this fragrance. Last fragrance is actually a discontinued one, so I cannot test it. I don't know how it smells, but I love the collection, and it is Lavande Trianon from Maison Lancôme. I have to say, when it comes to the note, I am not so intrigued, but how people describe it and how some people are really obsessed with it. And also because, I don't know, I have this urge to test this fragrance now. It's ridiculous, and I cannot find this one. I cannot find this one, and I'm refusing to pay more than how much the fragrance costs for it. So yeah, it's difficult, but if I can find it, I will definitely buy it if it is at the right price. Now let's get to brands that I wanted to discover last year. So last year it was the same as the year before. I wanted to test more Kilian and XERJOFF, and I definitely did this year. So last year I did test some, but not as much as this year. And I have to say, Kilian surprised me, because I had this idea about Kilian that it is very, you know, mass-pleasing gourmands, but are a little bit niche, and it's not. They have their DNA that either you love or not, but I am loving it. It's very strong and it is quite unique. So I love Back to Black, as I said. I also love Angel Share. The one that was released this year is absolutely stunning, smoking hot. Oh my God, beautiful scent. So these, I would say, are for now my favorites. I need to, of course, discover more, but yeah, I find like Kilian is definitely a brand that I should have tested before. When it comes to XERJOFF, I definitely changed my mind. Maybe because of the first fragrances that I've tested from XERJOFF, though were hyped, but were not it at all. So I did not like them. I'm talking about Accento, Alexandria 2, Erba Pura. Nothing really blew my mind. And now testing more of XERJOFF, I have to say a little bit on the fence. So I get the hype, but I don't get the price tag. So yeah, honest. For now, I don't know. I may change my mind, but XERJOFF for now has a lot of fragrances that I really liked. Lua, Lira, we have Italica, which is not for me, but I would highly recommend. Allende, Cruz del Sur Segundo, which is again not for me, but definitely a fragrance that I would recommend. I have tested so much, but still there is so many more that I can test from XERJOFF. They are quite productive. They release a lot of fragrances, so it's hard to keep up. Anyway, so XERJOFF, yes, I may discover a little bit more, but I'm not going to aim for testing every single fragrance because it's very difficult actually, and the prices on the samples are quite high. I also said that I want to test Italian brands, and yes, I then decided for 2023 to test every month a new Italian niche brand, and I did. I know I am late. You may say you didn't upload every month, and you are right, and I'm so sorry, but I did film every month a new Italian brand. It's just that I am late when it comes to uploading these videos because I have to edit them, and they are always a little bit long, and I have to insert like photos, etc. So it takes a lot of time editing these videos. So I'm so sorry about that, but I did test 12 Italian brands this year. You will find the list in the description down below. So I will upload them progressively and then do final thoughts or buying guides on some brands. So yeah, Italian brands, I would say, is enough for me. So let's get to what is my wish list for 2024 when it comes to brands I want to discover. So I want to discover more of the Merchant of Venice. This is an Italian brand. Again, I did film a video on, but it was very difficult for me to get my hands on samples from this brand. I want to expand more when it comes to this particular Italian brand. Honestly, I don't have like a particular brand in mind that I want to test it. Keep in mind that I have so many discovery sets of brands that I didn't even open, that I really want to film a video on. I am overwhelmed with how many videos I want to do. I'm overwhelmed with my sample collection. I have over 5,000. Yes, a lot. Yeah, I have actually a declutter video of them. You can find it in the description. I will link it if you are interested in seeing that. And I have added more since. I'm talking about especially discovery sets. So yeah, I don't have any brand actually that I want to discover more. I think the only thing that I wish for is to complete the sample collection of Le Vestiaire collection from Yves Saint Laurent. It was the discovery of the year for me when it comes to a private collection, and I want to do a buying guide. So yeah, I would say this is the one. But I'm not saying that I'm planning, but I wish for 2024 to be the year for British brands. I want to do a buying guide on Van Halligans. I want to do a buying guide on Floral Street. I want to test more British brands. I want to test more from Miller Harris, for example. I had Scherzo and I didn't test much from this brand. But I don't believe that I have enough to have 12 months of content from British brands. So I don't know. I will try, but I cannot promise that I will deliver, let's say. Now let's get to makeup. And it seems like my makeup wish list gets smaller and smaller every year. Oh, actually, my wish list gets smaller every year, regardless, is it makeup or fragrances. But it shrinked a lot, let's say. And my explanation for that is that I am overwhelmed with how many new makeup is released every year, every month, every week. It's impossible to follow. And I am not a makeup artist, and I even don't wear makeup daily. So, and although I am obsessed with makeup, I love makeup, just getting so many products that I cannot finish, that I will not use, I don't know, seems wasteful, seems ridiculous, especially that I am not creating any content with them. I'm just using them personally. I had on my wish list NARS cream bronzer in Laguna, and it still is on my wish list. I'm just waiting because I have a lot of cream bronzers, and cream bronzers do, you know, expire before powder bronzers. It's not like I didn't find it or didn't find it on a deal. It's more the issue that I want to finish the ones that I have before adding something new. So they will not expire. I had also NARS Orgasm in Liquid Blush. I still have this one on my wish list, but honestly, I'm not a blush girl. So I am kind of satisfied with what I have. So it is on my wish list, but in a maybe. I had on my wish list Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Rose Gold. Got this one. Absolutely stunning. Stunning, stunning. I love Eyes to Mesmerize from Charlotte Tilbury. It's for me worth the splurge for sure. And Rose Gold became my favorite one. One swipe and done kind of makeup, you know, beautiful. I had on my wish list from LYS the bronzer stick. Still have. I cannot get my hands on it because it's not sold anywhere here in Italy, because it seems very creamy, and this is what I look for when it comes to a cream bronzer. I had also on my wish list for the second year the Gucci lipstick, and yeah, it's just the price. It's very off-putting for me to get it. I had also on my wish list the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Cream. Didn't get it yet. I had on my wish list Elemis Collagen Cleansing Balm. It's on its way, so this one I already have in my collection. So as you can see, I didn't even get a lot of products when it comes to makeup from my wish list, and I kind of feel like I didn't miss anything, honestly. So let's get to my wish list for 2024. I have the contour stick from Makeup Marmario. I have Natasha Denona concealer, the new one. It looks really great, and has great reviews. So yeah, I want to test this concealer because I am always looking for a good concealer. Also because this year, I don't know, you know, this is another thing that happens when you get old. It's just almost like you wake up and something is different. So this year I am struggling with my under eyes. I have to admit that I have a crazy schedule and I don't sleep as much as I used to. So maybe it's that, and maybe it's age, I don't know. So I am still open to try new concealers. I also I need a nude palette from Natasha Denona. I was about to get it this Black Friday, and then I decided, let's be real. I have so many palettes that I will never even have a dent in them. So I don't need a new palette. I don't know. I really like the colors. They are just what I love. So yeah, I am keeping it in my wish list. Yeah, I just can't. I think this will be added this year. I think I will not resist for a long time. And I love Natasha Denona, by the way. And then I have from Rare Beauty their blushes. Yes, I did not test these blushes that everyone loves yet. Have to say, I'm always afraid when it comes to liquid blushes. These seem very pigmented and very liquidy, which scares me. But everybody raves about them, so I want to try them. Maybe in a color that I don't have, so I don't feel like I bought something that I already have. And also the one cleansing balm that I want to get is Then I Met You. A cleansing balm, which is extremely expensive. I was about to get it on Black Friday, but it was sold out. So yeah, so that one is on my wish list as the last cleansing balm to try before making my video or buying guide on the best cleansing balms on the market. Now, the most important part, at least for me, that will affect me profoundly, me personally, is life habits that I want to implement, want to change in 2024. So let's start with what was on my wish list for 2023, and it's very disappointing because I have achieved none. So I wanted to schedule or have a routine for YouTube. It did not happen. I tried. I really did, but it's impossible with my lifestyle, with my work and duties as a mom and everything. It's just not happening. And yeah, it's still something that I really wish to do. And the second was to return to yoga. Oh my God. This is now the third year that it's the fourth year that I want to return to my daily yoga, or even return to yoga in general, and it did not happen. I adore yoga. My body loves it. I used to do daily yoga. Daily. I mean, I never missed any day for 6 years until the pandemic, and everything changed. A lot of stuff changed with the pandemic, not only my yoga routine, but yeah. So yeah, these two would be again on my wish list for this year, and I would love to add a third one, and it is to finally quit coffee and tea, because I need to stop them for health issues, and I just can't because I am tired and I want to wake up. So I get coffee and I drink too much. I drink 5 to 6 cups of coffee, sometimes more, and it's too much. So I am not going to ask a lot of myself. So for 2024, I want to limit my daily intake to just 2. This is quite difficult, by the way. So maybe if I cut it to 2, it would be easier. Let's hope. Anyway, and that was my wish list for 2024. Please tell me in the comments down below what is your wish list when it comes to fragrances, and what is the habits that you would really love to implement in your life in 2024. Looking forward to see your comments down below. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload any new video. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time. Ciao!